Celebrities are in the media all the time. In fact, what makes them celebrities is that they're in the media all of the time. But sometimes though, that spotlight, it can be on them for all the wrong reasons. Number 10 on this list is J-Lo's and Alex Rodriguez's breakup. After 4 years together and an engagement, the pair cut ties and went their separate ways earlier this year. Now the breakup itself, it seemed rather amicable on the surface. They both said, "We will continue to work together and support each other on our shared businesses and projects. We wish the best for each other and one another's children's." Out of respect for them, the only other comment we have to say is thank you to everybody who has sent kind words and support. So all of that honestly seems really nice. However, it didn't take Lopez very long to move on from A-Rod and go back to an old flame in Ben Affleck. Fans have speculated if there was potentially something going on between them prior to the breakup, but nothing of significance has gone to proving that. Meanwhile, A-Rod is still recovering from the loss. He's been posting a lot more on his Instagram in what fans believe is an effort to make J-Lo jealous. He has also been captioning things like, "I've fallen and I can't get up, and I'm good with that." But I'm not totally sure if you are though, Alex, because the day that the breakup was announced, he posted a video with Coldplay's Fix You playing in the background as he shared photos of him and Lopez very much in love. The super amicable joint breakup that was portrayed may have been a lot more one-sided than we initially thought. Number 9 on this list is the conflict that had arisen from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with the royal family. The couple now lives in California, far from the reaches of the British crown. They no longer live near their relative royals due to some pretty bad blood that has gone down in the family over the past several years. In 2018, Meghan and Harry, they got married and they were immediately on the cover of every tabloid one could think of. What we weren't aware of though was that there was a little bit of trouble in paradise. The pair eventually stepped down from their royal duties as they felt increasingly ostracized from the other royals. A very close family friend came out and said, "There is so much bad blood in that family, it's toxic." Over this past year, Harry has apparently tried to make contact with his father, but has said that he's been cut out completely. His phone calls often going straight to voicemail. It seems that the bad blood is still very thick, and that even a move to California hasn't fixed the underlying problems that the royal family has. Number 8 on this list is less of a scandal and more of like a what? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were on Dax Shepard's podcast having an interview when they said on that show that they don't bathe their kids until they can see dirt on them. Like, what? Like, how often do your kids have dirt on them? I can't imagine it's that much. This wasn't the end of this little tidbit of information though, because Kristen Bell decided that she wanted to weigh in on the pressing issue. She came out and said, and I quote, "I'm a big fan of waiting for the stink. Once you catch a whiff, that's biology's way of letting you know you need to clean it up. There's a red flag. Honestly, it's just bacteria. Once you get bacteria, you gotta be like, get in the tub or shower." End quote. So I hear you with that, Kristen, like I do, but I feel like I'm not the weird one for saying that having a regularly scheduled showering time is kind of the norm. I mean, at least the kids are probably loving this, like they barely have to bathe. Number 7 on this list is the pettiest move in history by Conor McGregor. Conor has been in the media a lot recently, but it hasn't been for his fighting prowess. It has been for various allegations that really put his character into question. One of these allegations was an charge that he actually pleaded guilty to. Back in 2019 in an Irish pub, McGregor sucker punched a man in the back of his head as the man was drinking his whiskey. Clearly they had had a verbal altercation, but it didn't need to go to a physical place. Even though that was 2 years ago and McGregor was clearly in the wrong, he hasn't let it go. In fact, in 2021, Conor returned to that same pub that the incident happened at, but this time with a big fat check. He bought that Irish pub from the owner, and directly after the news broke that he did this, he tweeted out, "Yeah, and your man's barred." This was in reference to the person that he had hit 2 years ago. So McGregor literally went out of his way to spend an abhorrent amount of money by this bar just so he could get the last laugh in a dispute that should have been settled years ago. If that doesn't scream petty, I'm not sure what does. Number 6 on this list is Chrissy Teigen. The 35-year-old supermodel and wife of musician John Legend had her name in the media for all the wrong reasons when she was called out for a controversial bullying scandal. Courtney Stodden, a 27-year-old supermodel, called out Chrissy for an array of bashful tweets and messages that left her feeling very small. After this came out, several others followed suit and reported that Chrissy had left them feeling worthless, with one individual saying that they even considered suicide after working with her. Chrissy Teigen took some serious time away from the media, and it seems as if that was the right choice. She's come back now and is apparently a stronger person. She says that she is over 100 days sober and feels a lot more clear-headed. Hopefully all of that is true and that the harsher side of Chrissy is left in the past. Number 5 on this list is the cheating scandal from Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. It feels like this is a perpetual story in the media, but once again, it's glaring its ugly head in 2021. Back in March, Khloe posted a really cute Instagram photo of her and Tristan with their kid at a fancy event for Tristan Thompson's birthday. The couple looked really happy, and she captioned the picture, "The ones that are meant to be are the ones who go through everything that is designed to tear them apart, and they come out even stronger than they were before. Thank you for showing me everything you said you would, for the father you are, for the best friend I have in you. I'm thankful I can do absolutely nothing with you, and it feels like everything." Well, I'm happy that you feel that way, Khloe, but clearly Tristan did not feel the same. Only a few months later, the pair broke up again when Tristan was seen entering a bedroom with 3 other women and was apparently parading himself as being single. Apparently now, the pair aren't fully back together, but they're spending lots of quality time together. So we'll see how that develops in time. Number 4 on this list is Ioan Gruffudd and the whole incident with his family. Ioan has been in countless movies and TV shows over his long career, and his ex-wife Alice Evans is no stranger to movies and TV either, having been in her own fair share of things. Well, on January 6th of this year, she tweeted out, "Sad news. My beloved husband slash soulmate of 20 years, Ioan Gruffudd, has just announced he is to leave his family starting next week. Me and our young girls are very confused and sad. We haven't been given a reason except that he no longer loves me. I'm so sorry." So yeah, that was a lot, guys. Now, first thing I would say about this is that when reading this now deleted tweet, you can tell that she's upset. And I mean, rightfully so. Her husband of 20 years is completely leaving, and you have a right to be hurt. She does say that he doesn't give her a reason, and I hate to say, but I do think he does. Not loving someone, in my mind, is a pretty sizable reason, but I can only imagine that after 20 years, that has to be a heartbreaking blow. Now, what has not been confirmed is whether he was leaving his daughters as well, or just wanting to separate from his wife. So we still don't really know about that, but this scandal has actually recently got a development too. Alice Evans has accused Ioan of having an affair for 3 years while they were together. Whether that's true or not, we're gonna have to wait and see. Number 3 on this list is Kanye and Kim. You had to know that it would be on this list, but the split between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West sent waves through the internet when it happened. The pair had been married for 6 years, however rumors started to surface about cracks in their marital foundation. This all came bubbling up to the surface when footage of Kim was released where she was crying to her sisters, "Why am I still in this, like, place where I'm stuck for years? Like, he goes and moves to a different state every year. I have to be together so I can raise the kids, you know?" She goes on to say that Kanye deserves somebody that can support his every move and go follow him all over the place and move to Wyoming. She says, "I can't do that. I feel like an effing failure, that it's like a third effing marriage." Obviously, Kim wasn't happy to be losing another marriage, but realized that it was in her best overall interest. The split was civil, however some lines from Kanye's album Donda allude to a lot of mistrust in the relationship. Clearly this marriage had been flawed for a while. I mean, Kanye lived in a different state than Kim for most of the time, and they barely saw each other. Not really the romantic foundation that a marriage should be built off of. Number 2 is Britney Spears' conservatorship case. Back in 2008, the pop star's career was put in the hands of a legal guardian due to her mental health being severely in question. The agreement had her father control her estate and other aspects of her life. Now, this was intended to help Britney as she went to rehab and got her career and life back in order. However, she has come out and said that her father has done quite the opposite. that she was apparently drugged and forced to perform against her will, that her father prevented her from having more children under this thing. Basically, that he was running every aspect of her life and she couldn't live like this anymore. This sparked the social media to come to her aid with a whole movement that was meant to free Britney. Very recently, this goal was accomplished and her power-hungry father was stripped of his title, and thankfully Britney was able to get her freedom back. The whole thing is just so icky, and I, for one, I'm really happy to see her getting some control back in her life. Number 1 on this list is the ongoing lawsuit against Shia LaBeouf. The former Transformer star has been in the tabloids for some time now due to a lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend, FKA Twigs, in regards to behavior during their relationship. Now, the abuse that she was suing him over dealt with emotional and physical stuff that spanned their entire dating history. LaBeouf was dating Margaret Qualley at the start of 2021, but that didn't last very long, and amid all of these rumors circling him, the couple went their separate ways. It should also be noted that the actor has recently been dropped from several films and projects that he was supposed to be scheduled to work on. It seems like the common theme here is that his mental health is not where it needs to be right now. Substance abuse also seems to be a common topic in this lawsuit and from others that have reported inappropriate behavior from the actor. Only time will tell how this lawsuit develops and if LaBeouf will be able to right the ship and hopefully get himself clean.
And at number 10, Hilaria Baldwin. 2021 started off with maybe the strangest scandal ever surrounding Hilaria Baldwin's background. After a long string of events, it was revealed that Hilaria Baldwin is not actually Spanish like she claims, and in fact her name isn't even Hilaria, it's just Hillary. And it seems that she put on this fake Spanish persona to be more interesting and unique in the media. It was also revealed that her Spanish accent is most definitely a lie too, because neither of her parents have an accent. As Twitter began searching for the truth, it emerged that she was, in fact, actually born and raised as Hillary, not Hilaria, in Massachusetts, and her roots are American from many generations back. But then in interviews, she claimed she moved here from Spain to go to NYU, a complete lie. In response, Hilaria addressed the situation, saying she was raised with 2 cultures, but she never actually commented on why she lied, although she did later admit she's just a white girl. And at number 9, Jamie Lynn Spears. Since the Free Britney movement started to get mainstream attention, fans have been wondering why her famous sister, Jamie Lynn, never publicly did or said anything to support her while under the conservatorship. Britney has egged on her fans, telling them that she hates everyone in her family, including her sister Jamie Lynn. After Jamie Lynn started getting hate, she responded, quote, "Maybe I didn't support her the way the public would like me to with a hashtag on a public platform, but I can assure you that I've supported my sister long before there was a hashtag, and I'll support her long after." But Britney has been clapping back. In one caption she wrote, quote, "I don't like that my sister showed up at an award show and performed my songs to remixes. My so-called support system hurt me deeply. This conservatorship killed my dreams." Jamie Lynn has been keeping a low profile ever since. And at number 8, Scott Disick. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker are the hottest new couple, and they're showing the world how much they love each other. Since the pair got together, they've been partaking in tons and tons of PDA. But things got awkward when Scott was exposed for trashing Kourtney's PDA to none other than her ex-boyfriend, Eunice Benjima. Apparently Scott DM'd Eunice, Kourtney's other ex, and wrote, quote, "Yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like, what is this? In the middle of Italy?" Clearly trying to initiate a conversation where they both essentially trash Kourtney. But to everyone's surprise, even though it seems that Kourtney and Eunice ended things pretty badly, Eunice did not trash Kourtney, and he responded, quote, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. P.S. I ain't your bro." Eunice then shared a screenshot of the whole conversation publicly, so it made things even more awkward between Scott and Kourtney. And at number 7, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was at the center of scandal when it was exposed that his personal shopper had been stealing millions from him without Kevin knowing. Apparently this took place over a long period of time, so the shopper was able to steal more than $1 million worth of purchases. The personal shopper, Dylan Jason Sire, who started working for Hart in 2015, was arraigned in February on grand larceny and 9 other counts. If you're wondering what kind of things that he purchased, he apparently had over $240,000 worth of jewelry and watches, fine art, and Louis Vuitton bags in his possession. And at number 6, Zayn Malik. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid were one of the hottest couples in Hollywood during their on and off again relationship. The pair even have a child together named Kai. After her birth, the pair seemed to be committed to raising their daughter together. But after Zayn's recent altercation with Yolanda Hadid, Gigi's mother, the two have split again, this time probably for good. A source exclusively told Us Weekly that it's, quote, much better that they have separated. According to this insider, quote, Gigi and Zayn had a very destructive relationship when they were together romantically. And according to the lawsuit, Zayn, quote, shoved Yolanda into a dresser, causing mental anguish and physical pain after calling Yolanda an effing Dutch slut. At the time of the altercation, Gigi was not home, but she came back immediately from Paris Fashion Week to address the problem. Zayn pleaded no contest to the charges, but later said in a statement that he adamantly denied Yolanda's claims. Now the pair have split and are fighting for custody. Halfway number 5, Jake Gyllenhaal. Taylor Swift just released her version of Red, which is an album she wrote back in 2012 while she was heartbroken from a breakup. At the time, fans assumed the album was about Jake Gyllenhaal, but after the release of the All Too Well short film, we're pretty much certain it's about him. In the song, Taylor is agonizing over a past relationship and singing about her heartbreak. Swift, who is now 31, dated Gyllenhaal, who is now 40, for 3 months in late 2010. She then channeled her emotions to make the hit album Red in 2012. Taylor also released a short film along with the new 10-minute version of the song and cast Dylan O'Brien, who is 30, and Sadie Sink, who is 19, in the All Too Well short film, which is a very similar age gap between her and Jake Gyllenhaal during their relationship. Taylor called out Jake in the line, quote, "And I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older but your lovers stay my age." This line especially hits hard since Jake is currently dating a woman who is 16 years younger than him. In the song, she sings that Jake Gyllenhaal claimed that they might still be together if they were closer in age. And at number 4, Simon Cowell. The legendary American Idol host is known for turning everyday singers into stars, but his label Psycho was recently exposed for being toxic towards their artists. John and Edward Grimes, known in the music world as Jedward, went on a tweeting spree and spilled the beans on Simon Cowell and his record label. The pair said that Simon and his label have been taking advantage of artists for years. We were also reminded that other artists like Cher Lloyd and Rebecca Ferguson also spoke out about the bad conditions that they've worked under while with Psycho. In their tweets, Jedward called the One Direction members survivors because of what they've had to endure. And at number 3, Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson has been exposed for cheating on Khloe Kardashian many times over the years, and sadly 2021 was no different. In the beginning of the year, an Instagram model revealed that she slept with Tristan while he was with Khloe. This made it the 3rd time that Tristan was exposed for cheating. The model, named Sydney Chase, claimed that she slept with Tristan Thompson in January and he claimed that he was single, but she added, quote, "It happened and then I found out that he was not single and I cut him off." After the news went viral, she addressed it again in a TikTok where she apologized for disclosing private information, but also said she was not lying and Tristan had reached out to her multiple times. She said in the TikTok, quote, "The last time we had contact, besides when he messaged me after finding out about the interview, it was the day after his daughter's birthday party." Following the scandal, Khloe and Tristan broke up, but it seems that Khloe is still defending him online any chance that she gets. And at number 2, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis shocked the internet when they openly revealed that they don't bathe their kids unless they are visibly dirty. They revealed this on the Armchair Expert podcast with Dax Shepard, saying they only gave their kids baths as infants when they could, quote, "see dirt on them." Apparently Dax agreed with the statement and responded, quote, "When I had children I also didn't wash them every day. I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns ever." Adding that people, quote, "should not be getting rid of the natural oil on your skin with a bar of soap every day." Kunis said the decision related to her poor upbringing, saying she didn't shower much as a kid and she basically turned out fine. And finally at number 1, Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer is definitely the celebrity that's been exposed the worst in 2021, and it's looking like his career is over because the allegations against him aren't really something that you can come back from. Hammer shot to fame in his roles in Call Me By Your Name and The Social Network. He was also born into incredible wealth, and his family runs many massive billion-dollar companies. But that all came crashing down after multiple women accused him of disturbing allegations, with many expressing that he had scary fetishes, and many times he would take things way too far with women while intimate with them. There were even rumors that he could be a cannibal. As a result of the string of allegations, Armie has stepped away from an upcoming film with Jennifer Lopez called Shotgun Wedding, as well any project that he was due to be part of has cut him. And with the seriousness of these allegations, he could very well even be getting jail time for his actions. And at number 10, Josh Duggar. This year, Josh Duggar was found guilty and will be sentenced to jail for his heinous crimes. And not only is his career gone, but his entire family has turned their back on him, rightfully so. As of now, he's not been given a sentence, but he's facing up to 40 years in prison. The former reality TV star, known as a sibling on the show 19 Kids and Counting, was sentenced and will be charged in Arkansas. I can't exactly tell you what his charges are because they are truly that terrible, but he was charged with receiving and possessing illegal content of minors. After the guilty verdict, Duggar's lawyers said that they intend to appeal it, which I hope does not get accepted. Duggar has since been taken into custody, but his sentence has not been determined. Since the guilty verdict, Josh's sister, Jana Duggar, has also been arrested on similar charges. And at number 9, Gary Busey. Gary Busey was exposed this year for being in financial ruin. He's essentially bankrupt and owes the government thousands of dollars in unpaid taxes. Thankfully, his legal battle has determined that he will not have to pay creditors that have been pushing him for payment, which amounted to roughly $57,000. He also got to keep $26,000 worth of assets. However, Busey will still have to pay the roughly $450,000 that he owes to state and federal taxes, as they are not taken away in bankruptcy cases. Busey told TMZ about going broke, quote, "When you have too much, it's a good feeling to let go. My new hobby is just breaking even." And at number 8, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin's career is on the verge of being over after he accidentally shot 2 people on the set of the movie Rust, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Following the tragedy, the movie has been trying to piece together what exactly happened to cause this to occur. Blame has been placed on the assistant director, along with the armorer, but it seems that the set was full of safety concerns almost as soon as it started, and it was later discovered that other cast and crew members walked off the set before the shooting because of safety issues. As of now, the movie itself and Alec Baldwin are being sued by a number of parties. It's difficult to say how at fault he was in the situation, but at the end of the day, he is the one that fired the bullet. Until things are sorted out, he should not work on another project again. Although now he is claiming that he didn't even pull the trigger, which some people are debating. And at number 7, R. Kelly. I've avoided talking about R. Kelly for as long as possible on the channel because his crimes are so terrible they're hard to talk about. But after years of being in court battles, on September 27th of 2021, R. Kelly was officially found guilty on 9 charges, including charges of kidnapping, bribery, and many counts of exploitation. Kelly will remain in custody pending sentencing, which was set for May 4th of 2022. For decades, people have been coming forward against the rapper and his incredibly problematic behavior, especially towards women. Some even claim he ran a cult, where other men along with Kelly would take advantage of women in a vulnerable state. As of now, he's facing decades behind bars and is entirely blacklisted from the industry. And at number 6, Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne truly had it all. She was filthy rich, had a loving husband, and a phenomenal career as a Real Housewife. But that all came crumbling down this year when she filed for divorce from her husband, and it was exposed that her entire life was basically a fraud. Erika's husband was all-star attorney Tom Girardi, known from the Erin Brockovich case. But then police and lawyers got involved, and it was exposed that Tom was a fraud and achieved their lavish lifestyle from stealing from his clients. The fact that Tom represented orphans and widows made things even worse, as he was stealing from people that really needed the money. Erika is now being sued left, right, and center, and she might even be facing jail time. She spent the entire season of the show fielding accusations about her involvement, but over time the fans and fellow cast members have turned on her. As of now, she's basically alone, fighting off lawsuits and criticism on the internet, and the fans of the show have definitely turned on her after the last reunion. Halfway number 5, Travis Scott. Following the tragic Astroworld Festival, it will be shocking if Travis Scott continues to have a career. At first, it looked like Kylie Jenner might be leaving him following the incident, however she's apparently standing by him ahead of their second child's birth. But fans are speculating this could be all for show, and Kylie just might leave him after the birth. It's clear that Travis is taking no responsibility for the festival that took the lives of 10 concert goers and injured hundreds of others, as he recently said he was not responsible whatsoever in his interview with Charlemagne, and claimed that he didn't know of anything that was happening. As of now, Travis is looking at billions of dollars worth of lawsuits, so at the very least he will be going broke following the tragedy. After the festival, fans realized this problematic behavior was not a one-off, and Travis had encouraged rowdy and dangerous behavior multiple times in the past. This has caused a lot of longtime fans to turn on him. And at number 4, Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett was best known for his role on Empire at the time of his scandal, although he wasn't a household name. But his fame exploded to new heights when he alleged that 2 white men who were wearing MAGA hats attacked him, shouting racist and homophobic slurs. The whole world supported him, and he became somewhat of a figure against racial hate, until it was revealed that it was all a lie and he actually paid 2 men to attack him. After he was exposed, he was served several lawsuits from the city themselves for faking a police report and wasting the city's time. On February 11th of 2020, Smollett was charged by a Cook County grand jury on 6 counts pertaining to making 4 false police reports, and he was of course blacklisted from the industry. He was just found guilty of his crimes and will be serving time behind bars, so his career and everything he has worked for is now gone over a stupid lie. In at number 3, Jen Shah. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just seems to be getting better and better, and the drama with cast member Jen Shah is not going anywhere anytime soon. Weeks ago we saw Jen get arrested during the show. Now we get to see Jen fighting for her freedom. Shah was arrested by the feds on March 30th of 2021 for allegedly ripping off elderly people in a telemarketing scam. She's facing charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, with a max sentence of 30 years in prison if found guilty. Initially it seemed that Jen was tipped off that the cops were coming for her, and that's why she suddenly left the planned trip. But now she's claimed that she's completely innocent and the cops have gone after her for no reason. But the cops just don't choose someone to investigate for months and then arrest in a sting operation, so clearly they have some serious dirt on her that might put her behind bars. In at number 2, Chris Harrison. Before his huge scandal, Chris Harrison was known as the legendary host of the Bachelor franchise, but he was caught up in a major scandal in 2021 after contestant Rachel Kirkconnell was exposed for racially insensitive actions. In the midst of this, Harrison took part in an interview with fellow Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, where he spoke about this scandal. During that interview, Harrison was very aggressive towards Rachel Lindsay and defended Kirkconnell for seemingly no reason. One of Harrison's controversial statements included, quote, "I've heard a lot of, I think she should, I think he should. Who the hell are you? Who are you to demand that?" People found his comments to be insensitive, and many said he was too quick to defend a contestant accused of racist actions. Chris ended up apologizing but was later cut entirely from the franchise, which was a huge deal to the Bachelor fans. And finally at number 1, Zayn Malik. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid were one of the hottest couples in Hollywood during their on and off again relationship. The pair even had a child together named Kai. But that was all taken away from him after reports that he got physical with his mother-in-law Yolanda Hadid. According to an insider, quote, "Gigi and Zayn had a very destructive relationship when they were together romantically." According to a lawsuit, Zayn, quote, "shoved Yolanda into a dresser, causing mental anguish and physical pain," after calling Yolanda a, quote, "effing Dutch slut." At the time of the altercation, Gigi was not home, but she came back immediately from Paris Fashion Week to deal with the situation. Zayn pled no contest to the charges, but later said in a statement that he adamantly denied Yolanda's claims. The pair have now split for good and are fighting for custody of their daughter, along with Zayn and Yolanda fighting in lawsuits. In at number 10, Travis Scott. After the recent Astroworld Festival tragedy, it might be the end of Travis Scott as we know him. While Travis was performing at the sold-out 50,000 person festival, concertgoers rushed to the front of the stage, causing mass panic. People were crushed and not able to breathe. This resulted in the death of at least 10 people and injuries to hundreds of others. Since the festival, Travis Scott, along with the venue and concert promoters, are being sued for billions of dollars. Drake has also been named in a number of the lawsuits. Travis has released some statements and even a video apology, but fans are extremely disappointed and believe he should have stopped the show. Videos have even surfaced of Travis looking right at the crowd while someone was being resuscitated, and many believe he saw what was happening and just did nothing. Following the tragedy, Travis is flooded with lawsuits, and no venue will ever want to host a concert of his again. And at number 9, DaBaby. DaBaby endured probably the worst cancellation of 2021 after he made homophobic remarks while on stage performing. He paused his performance and said in part, quote, "If you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly diseases, that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks, put your cell phone light up," adding that ladies can put their cell phone lights up if their privates, quote, "smell like water," then making derogatory comments about men hooking up in the parking lot. After the comments were made, the rapper faced backlash from fellow performers as well as fans. His collaborator Dua Lipa even made a statement condemning him. The rapper was supposed to be headlining the final day of Lollapalooza, but he was later dropped, along with getting pulled or dropping out of countless other festivals. He's made countless statements and apologies since, but fans have not believed any of them. And at number 8, Matt Damon. Matt Damon got cancelled after he revealed in an interview that he only recently stopped using the F slur in conversation. He thought the media would praise him for the decision, but everyone was just wondering what took him so long. During an interview, he shared a story about how his daughter urged him to stop using the F slur, as it is homophobic. Damon claims he only used it as a joke and never in a hurtful manner, but that his daughter's words resonated with him and he decided to stop. But that instantly backfired, with people calling out the star for ever saying it in the first place. Damon then tried to clear the air and clarified that he never actually said the F slur in the first place. He only heard it back when he was a kid. Damon said, quote, "I never called anyone that word in my personal life, and this conversation with my daughter was not a personal awakening. I do not use slurs of any kind." But it seemed to be too little too late. And at number 7, David Dobrik. David Dobrik used to be classified as one of the most successful YouTubers ever, known for giving away cars to his friends, but that all changed when Trisha Paytas started hosting the Frenemies podcast and went after David and his crew. Shortly after Frenemies started bringing up David's worst moments, an insider article dropped where a girl shared her story of being assaulted by Vlog Squad member Dirty Dom. The woman also accused David of facilitating the toxic environment that led to her assault. But that's not all. Around this time, it was also exposed that he was responsible for an accident that almost took the life of his good friend Jeff Wittick. Jeff was partaking in a stunt for David's vlogs, but it went horribly wrong, and David took things too far, leading Jeff to have serious, life-threatening injuries to his face and eye. David took a long break, but is posting to YouTube once again. And at number 6, Chrissy Teigen. If you guys remember, Chrissy Teigen went through a massive cancellation after it was revealed that she bullied multiple celebrities over the years on Twitter, even coming after children at some points. Her main targets seemed to be Courtney Stodden, who spoke out against Teigen and her harassment many times. All of her unearthed tweets were incredibly disgusting and made the entire internet turn on her. Chrissy decided to leave the internet for an undisclosed amount of time to reflect on her words and actions, but the time she took away only turned out to be a measly 23 days. She couldn't even pretend that she was actually going to change her ways and work on herself. Her return to the internet was not taken well, and many of her fans have stopped supporting her. She also just got backlash for hosting a Squid Games themed party. Many think it's ironic because she would be the rich person paying to watch in the real show. Halfway number 5, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato received massive backlash after they attacked a small business on Instagram. After Demi visited a frozen yogurt shop in LA, they were shocked to see that there were multiple sugar-free and low-calorie options at the store, which Demi believed promoted diet culture. Demi decided to take their anger to the internet, where they blasted the shop in an Instagram story. But the shop clapped back on their own Instagram and said that they cater to all different types of diets, and the snacks that Demi saw were most likely for diabetics or people with celiac disease. After this, people started attacking Demi, saying they should have known all the facts before attempting to cancel the shop, especially in the midst of a pandemic which hit small businesses the worst. And at number 4, Erika Jayne. I have been following this one since day one, as I'm a huge fan of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. One of the cast star ladies, Erika Girardi, aka Erika Jayne, shocked the world when she suddenly decided to divorce her husband, all-star attorney Tom Girardi. But then police and lawyers got involved, and it was exposed that Tom was a fraud and achieved their lavish lifestyle from stealing from his clients. The fact that Tom represented orphans and widows made things even worse, as he was stealing from people that really needed the money. Erika is now being sued left, right, and center, and she might even be facing jail time. She spent the entire season of the show fielding accusations about her involvement, but over time the fans and fellow cast members turned on her. She is still on the show as of now, but facing bankruptcy with all her lawsuits. And at number 3, Justin Timberlake. After Framing Britney Spears was released, fans realized just how horrible that Justin was to Britney during their relationship. The documentary centered around Britney's terrible treatment in the media and how the people in her life contributed to this. One of the people that made the media treatment worse was her boyfriend at the time, Justin Timberlake. His worst offenses were speaking about their love life when that was something that Britney wanted to keep hidden, along with insinuating that Britney cheated in his Cry Me a River music video. But Timberlake was not only exposed for treating Britney badly, but his handling of the infamous Janet Jackson Super Bowl scandal also resurfaced, because Jackson's career was essentially ruined after the incident, but Timberlake got away scot-free. In response to all the backlash, he posted a lengthy apology to Instagram. Although many felt it was forced by public pressure, not really genuine. And at number 2, Morgan Wallen. Country singer Morgan Wallen was swiftly cancelled this year after he was caught using the N-word on a security camera in February. Wallen was already on thin ice with the public after he left the SNL crew scrambling to replace him as the musical guest on the show when he broke quarantine guidelines before his appearance. At the time the footage was released, Wallen had one of the most successful country albums ever made. But after the incident, he apologized, saying, quote, "I'm embarrassed and sorry. I used an unacceptable and appropriate racial slur that I wish I could take back." The public was so outraged that his music was blacklisted from radio stations, and he was taken off Spotify playlists. Since the scandal, he has started touring again and still breaking country music records, although he is still banned from a lot of award shows. And finally, number 1, Sia. Sia is known for being a massive pop star, belting out insane vocals. But this year, she decided to try a new venture out, most recently directing the film Music. But this film might have just destroyed her career. The movie was released in February of 2021, and even before its release, it was already getting widespread criticism. The film is about an autistic girl who is brought under the care of her half-sister after the passing of their mother. Originally, it faced backlash for casting Maddie Ziegler to play music in the film when she is not autistic, but after its release, it was criticized for not accurately portraying portraying those on the autism spectrum, as well as showing harmful and dangerous restraint methods in the film that were widely condemned by those in the community. The film currently has a 14% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and Sia was forced to apologize for Maddie's portrayal in the film.